When the VIPs are talking to each other, they say the best games are in Korea. Could this possibly mean that there are other games like Squid Game around in the world in this universe? This could possibly be something that could come up in a season 2. This has me to believe that there could be plenty of other games just like this one around the world. When fights break out in the main hall, the game staff allows it until the old man speaks up. This was an early sign that he was really the head of the games, but he looks visibly distraught when all this happens because this is not what he wanted to really happen. He then told the other players that he would watch out for them throughout the night. This just goes to show you that even though he was in charge, he did not want them turning on each other. When the old man pees himself, you can see next to him that there is a water bottle that is completely empty. The old man could have peed himself, or he could have poured the water when no one was looking onto his pants to see who would help him. This may be one of the reasons why he let Gion win, even though he tricked him. As we all know, the old man was behind the games the entire time, so maybe he was just seeing who was the nicest and who he would spare their lives. When the detective goes to check to see if his brother has a file, when he goes to the 2020 Squid Game files for the players, there is actually no number 1, and when he opens the book, the first page is player number 2. This was an early sign that there was something wrong with the old man. This one is pretty obvious, but if you look on the walls of the main hall, as the beds are taken away throughout the series, you can actually see the games that they are playing. These games would have been dead giveaways if the players looked at the walls, and they are actually in order too. Here's what the room looks like when the beds are taken away for the last 3 players. If only they just looked on the walls, they would have been able to try and figure out the games. When the players are playing red light, green light, when the doll scans the players, you can see that every player is identified except for the old man right there. This was just one of the first signs to the audience that he wasn't who he said he was. This has me to believe if the old man did mess up in this game, then the system would not detect him and he would be perfectly fine and survive. The place where Gyun enters the van for the very first time in the first episode is actually the same exact place as where the homeless man is sitting on the side of the road in this scene right here in the last episode. Here's the location right here. When the players decide to return to Squid Game, the main characters are shown getting into the vans, including the old man. But after this scene, every single one of them is shown being gassed except for the old man. This was just one of the few early clues that he was really behind the games the entire time. While watching Squid Game, did anyone else think that the mask worn by the game staff actually resembled the PlayStation symbols on the controllers? I believe they are actually supposed to resemble letters from the Korean alphabet, but I just couldn't stop thinking about the PlayStation symbols on the controller. The old man reveals that his name is really Ilnam. If you translate Ilnam, it actually translates to English to first man. This was either a clue that first man meant he was the host and leader of the games, or that it was just revealing that he was player number 1. I think it was trying to reveal that he was the host.